Hello everyone. My name is Kia Ross and the title of my presentation today is The Rise of Interracial Marriages. I have a very important question for some of you. Would you marry someone from a different race? For me, race was never a factor in who I loved. It didn't matter what color you were, as long as we had a connection and we were in love, that's what mattered. And my husband and I, who's white, have been in a relationship for 6 years now. Maybe you know someone in an interracial marriage. According to the Pew Center analysis, more than 1/3 of adults surveyed said an immediate family member or close relative is married to someone of a different race. I will describe the increase in interracial marriages in the United States. We will discuss the history, the present, and the future of interracial marriages and how they impact American society. Let's discuss some historical information on interracial marriages. There have been a number of interracial marriages in U.S. history. Slave owners often had children with their wives. One of those slaves was Frederick Douglass, an American writer, social reformer, and statesman. He married his white wife, Helen Pitts, in 1884. Singer Sammy Davis Jr. married Swedish-born actress Mae Britt in 1960, even though interracial marriages were forbidden by law in 31 states. He also, before, was going to marry a different white woman who they say was the love of his wife, but he received death threats, so he ended up not marrying her and married a black woman who he later divorced and annulled the marriage. Next is Richard Loving, a white man who married his black wife Mildred Jeter in 1958. This couple had the U.S. Supreme Court rule against the state of Virginia and find that prohibiting interracial marriage unconstitutional across the country. With strong history between whites and blacks in the U.S., these racial unions bring the most controversy. People have been threatened, death, or even killed over these black and white unions. Now let's talk about the present state of interracial marriages. There have been changes reflecting interracial marriage in recent years. The state of Alabama did not stop banning interracial marriage until the year 2000. According to the new report by the Pew Research Center of the major demographic trends that have transformed American society in recent decades, the public is more accepting of the rise of interracial marriage than any other cultural shift, such as same-sex marriage or the increase in single motherhood. Among opposite-sex married couples, 1 in 10 married couples are interracial. This is a 28% increase since 2000. Interracial marriages have climbed to 4.8 million. Interracial unions include black, white, Asian, Hispanic, Indian, any race. There are a number of celebrity couples that you may know. Matthew McConaughey and his current wife married very recently. Khloe Kardashian and Lamar Odom from the Lakers and from Keeping Up with the Kardashians. Paula Patton and Robin Thicke. Robin Thicke is a R&B singer, and Paula Patton is an actress. You may have seen her in Mission Impossible 3. Halle Berry and Olivier Martinez, who you may have seen in many movies, who's won Oscars and continues to act. Kelly Ripa and Mark Consuela. You might know him, well, you probably know her from the Regis show, from this Kelly and Ripa and Regis show, which now is just Kelly herself. Matt Damon and his wife, who's been in the Bourne Legacy Identity movies and many other movies such as We Bought a Zoo. Ellen Pompeo and her husband, who you might know from Grey's Anatomy. Robert De Niro and his wife, who you might know from Goodfellas and a number of movies. Ice-T and Coco, who you might know from SUV Special Victims Unit. And he's also a rapper. Now let's talk about the future. Even though our president is also a product of an interracial marriage. And interracial marriages are growing, but the divorce rates are also high. These changes in interracial relationships are heading in the same direction, up. America is no longer a salad bowl where racial groups maintain separate identities. but a melting pot with far more open relationships with people of different races. With each passing year, I find that people are more accepting of interracial couples, and with the increase in biracial children, I would expect to have this continue. Biracial children are the key to uniting races because they bring families of different races closer together. In the future, I would expect interracial couples to become a usual occurrence. I believe interracial marriage will help to improve race relations in the future. Last but not least, as Canadian writer Margaret Atwood once said, I hope that people will finally come to realize that there is only one race, the human race, and that we are all members of it. As our races combine with interracial marriages, I suspect that in the future, race will not be so important to divide Americans, but to unite Americans. Maybe in the future there will be no racial lines and all marriages will be in some part interracial. Thank you.